Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. Here we like to do things budget friendly, and if you are like me and have champagne taste but on a beer budget, these videos are for you. Today we have Temu. I have quite a handful of stuff to go through with you today. Most of this is going to be some practical stuff. Now, I have been doing a lot of kind of goofy, oddball, bizarre things, but today I'm going to focus on the more practical pieces, but I do have a couple of fun pieces in here, and I can't wait to show you. One of the programs that Temu offers is something that's called Daily Free. Now, first of all, you have to buy a specific dollar amount of products through an acceptable link of products. So it's not like you can just go out and shop and buy whatever you want. It gives you a page of things to choose from, and there's always lots and lots to choose from. And typically you don't have to pay more than $20 or $40 in order to use this Daily Free program. And then you go through and you pick a small handful of products and you go in and log in by typing in the search field Daily Free, and then you get to collect each day one of those products. Typically, they are relatively inexpensive. Maybe one product will be a little bit higher value, and that's typically the one that you will receive at the very, very end. One of the things that I did come across though with this Daily Free is that they do allow you to choose from products that are on this page, but they're not all shipped from Temu. So some of them are actually local warehouse, and even though the item is free, you still had to pay the $2.99 shipping. So that's kind of changed up a little bit. Let me know, any of you guys out there, comment section below. Have you come across this? Because I was like, really? I still have to pay $2.99 shipping because maybe the product isn't even a value of $2.99 to begin with, but in order for you to collect all of the free pieces, you actually had to log in and collect all of the free pieces, which means $2.99 shipping. Anyway, long story short, let's go ahead and get into one of the pieces that I did select on one of the Daily Free. Now, what's nice is that for something like this is just a bunch of microfiber cleansing towels. This one has 20 pieces in it. Stuff like this is kind of nice because they will allow you to choose the highest quantity. So a listing like this may have 5, 10, and then this one was 20, which was the highest amount that you can order. And then from there, it's just the $2.99 shipping, so no harm, no foul. I think 20 microfiber cleansing towels is worth $2.99 for me. So for me, this was a bargain deal. I use these a lot for cleaning, and I am always washing and washing and washing. But the thing about that is I use fabric softener and smelly frou-frous and stuff like that. So sometimes the clean towels that I use will leave smear marks because of the detergents and stuff like that. Let me know, especially microfiber cloths that you use for your glasses. So let me know, comment section below, how do you clean your towels so that when you go to use them, if you use them to wash something that you want streak free, like glass or your refrigerator or something like that, when you need it to be streak free, because that would drive me bonkers. I do just pick a clean towel, and then once I have all of my towels that need to go back into the laundry, I will wash them, but then I have to start fresh with new clean towels again. Same thing with eyeglass pieces like this. I end up throwing these away, unfortunately, instead of recycle them, re-clean them, because after they've been hit with laundry detergent and whatnot, they no longer leave my glasses clean and streak free. So what are your thoughts? This definitely was worth it to me. 20 pieces. I don't care about the colors. I'm not hanging them over a towel rack or something like that and putting them on display. These are just things that I put under my sink and I grab when I need them. So definitely a value for me, and it was worth it with that one in particular. Another thing that we like to do a lot is have kind of a taco party or a backyard barbecue, if you will, whatever it is that you want to call them. We usually serve tacos, which means that the meat and meat, cilantro, lime, salsa, stuff like that, we will put underneath bug nets. But I wanted to try to see if this one would be better for the meat, in particular because we want to keep the meat warm, whereas everything else can stay cool. So this one is one of the, and I've had these before, is one of these bug nets. So you pop this open. This was another daily free deal. And it's supposed to latch. You pull from the top. There we go. And it latches down up at the top here. But this one is, hello, reflection. What we used to sit under when we wanted to catch some sun and get a little suntan on our face, right? But it's insulated. So potentially, possibly, this would be something great to keep bugs at bay, but also help to trap that heat from whatever hot dish that you have, or casserole, or whatever I call casseroles, whatever you call them where you're at, to keep that warmer than it otherwise would. But I haven't tried it yet, and I'm interested to see if it will work. I don't know. In theory, it seems like it would. But let's move on to some more kind of kitchen-y things that I do have here. And it's funny because Jen actually, from Just Jen, hi Jen, did haul a couple of these items, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 Temu hauls ago, and I said to her, I was like, I actually bought something very, very similar to that, and we kind of laughed about great minds think alike. And it's just kind of been sitting here in this pile because I really wanted to do the fun stuff with you first. But let me show you what they are and how I use them and why I can appreciate them. First things first. This is a pack of, I believe, 100, and you can get these in multi-packs of smaller quantities, larger quantities. You can actually get these in larger sizes. Now, they look kind of goofy, but what they are little covers that you would put over leftovers. We use these religiously. They are not thick. They are not wildly sturdy. They're very, very thin, and they are limited as to what size of a container they will fit. Again, you can buy these in larger sizes. Now, here's why this works for me. You see, I have a partner, and he does things wildly differently than I do, what most women do, and the way most Americans were raised. He is Mexican, and from where he's from, Tupperware wasn't really a thing. But my generation, we had parents that had, remember, Tupperware parties? We had all these reasons for us gals to get together. We either had Tupperware parties or Mary Kay parties or Avon parties, or I can't even remember, I think it was Amway, that really, really horrible pyramid scheme one. But we used to have these gatherings and we used to sell these kinds of things. Tupperware was a big, big, big one. And we used Tupperware to store our leftovers. Whatever dish we baked it in was emptied out, put into a Tupperware container. The dish we baked it in would then be put into the dishwasher or wash it and put away, and the Tupperware container would go in the refrigerator. Well, not in my house. Not in my house. Leftovers end up remaining in what pot or pan was cooked in or used or to fry or fricassee or whatever you want to call it in my house, and we use these a lot. The other thing is again, I have a partner. Can you see my nose hairs? And I can organize and clean and go through my cabinets and put all of the Tupperware caps with the Tupperware container it fits to. No matter how many times I do it, I always end up with more lids than containers, or more containers than lids, and I don't know where the matching pair went to anything. So here are my lids. We love them, we use them. They are awesome for us. It works out perfectly. The complement to those is one of these. So this is a cheap little plastic container. Okay, it is nothing special, nothing fantastic. Now my thought on this is that I will put it on the cabinet door so that when the cabinet door opens, he can just easily pull one of these out. Because the other problem is, and I will probably say this until I'm blue in the face, you can only lead a horse to water, right? Organization is not his skill. Keeping things clean is also not his skill. So when he goes to grab something like this, he'll usually drop the bag or spill the bag, and then we have to hunt for, if we're down to the last one or two, we have to hunt the cabinet for them. So I figured we would just get one of these little plastic containers, as I make a mess all over the place, to put them in. Now, you could use this really for a lot of different things. You could probably use this for little, maybe garbage bags that you would use for your bathroom, for example. I think that this would fit one of those little mini rolls perfectly. This might also work well for little tiny sandwich Ziploc baggies. But that's what it is. That's what I'm thinking to use it for. And then it does have one of these adhesive tabbies that clips on under the back, and then you remove the strip in the back, and then it adheres to the interior cabinet wall. It is not aesthetically pleasing. It is just a cheap piece of plastic. It is not something that I would put on the outside of a cabinet, but certainly something tucked in. So those are the two pieces that go together, but I did purchase them separately. However, this was one of the free gifts from the Daily Free. All right, now for my ultra quirky kitchen utensil. My partner eats a lot of ramen, and it's not because it's cheap and that's all we can afford. The reason being is because there is so many ways that you can take ramen and amplify it and turn it into a very nutritious meal. And that's what he does. Like, he'll add eggs to it, he'll put chicken in it, he'll do his own kind of recipes. And I thought these were kind of cool. So they are a pack of 4, and they're little squid noodle spoons. And they are kind of specifically almost for like a ramen noodle or an angel hair pasta. Now, you're not going to get your soup juice with this, so a soup ladle, a little soup ladle would be all, needed as well. But if you if you eat ramen, you could definitely find a good use for these. I like these. They're adorable. I'm not a huge ramen noodle eater. I'm not a huge soup eater. If I'm gonna eat soup, just fun fact about me, I like a cream-based soup. I prefer like a cream of noodle or a cream of wild rice and cream, kind of a hearty, thicker consistency. Kind of drooling over the idea of like a loaded baked potato soup right now. Can you tell I'm kind of hungry? But these are cute. These are cute. You can get these in multi-packs. You can get them individually. You can buy them 2 at a time, you can buy them singly. I did do, sorry, choking on my spit. That's fun. The search. So one brought up, it was a local warehouse. They wanted $2.99 for one, plus the $2.99 shipping. I was like, hex to the no. So I did the thing where I selected the photo that best appeared to look like this. I did tap on that photo, and then in the upper right hand corner of the screen where the little camera icon is, I tapped that. Then from there, I was able to sift through all of the distributors, and I did find this whole 4-pack, no shipping fee required, for actually I think almost the same price as the individual one from the local warehouse. So they're adorable. I mean, even if you look close up, it just has some fun little details in it. And I think he's gonna get a hoot out of that. I did buy them more so for him and my daughter, who also likes to eat ramen noodles. And I do believe that is it for my fun and funky kitchen. So let's move on to the next products. One of the things that is also kind of a pain in the butt is I used to tear apart dashes and doors on vehicles a lot, whether it was to replace a side mirror, window glass, or reconnect something some way, somehow, speakers, things like that, or putting in new radios or things like that. They always have these little tabs that are in plastic parts and pieces, a panel, in a dash, in a door, what have you, in a vehicle. And those little tabby things kind of stretch out and they kind of lose their functionality over time. And one of the things that Aaliyah, that's my dog. One of the things that my partner bought through his midlife crisis is a little BMW Z3 or X3, I think it's Z3, which is a little tiny convertible vehicle. And it's like 1999 or something like that. And it wasn't well taken care of. And a lot of the tabs and parts and pieces have kind of disintegrated over time. And I found these on TikTok Shop, and they actually had them on Temu. So I did find them on Temu. So if there are any guys out there watching, or gals that work on cars as well, I guess I'm a gal that works on cars, so I shouldn't let you gallies go to the wayside on some of these, yeah, tooly kind of things. But there are 2 pieces required. It looks like a little zip tie strip, and then one of these. Okay, so this will kind of replace screws that you might lose, or those little plastic tabbies. One side goes on the inside of a piece of plastic, and then you poke it through the hole, and then you push this side through, and it will connect and hold, and then you just cut off the access, and then that becomes like your new screw or tab holder. Well, I just wasted one. Anyway, so this is what you do. And then you cut it off there. If my scissors are even strong enough, and then you can make it nice and flush and relatively attractive. But that's what they are. And this one is a 100-piece pack, which means there are 50 zip ties, and then 50 of the little half square things, not half square, half circle things. Half circle things. That's not a square, Faith. That's a circle. But that is to replace his little midlife crisis car and have spare pieces for when I need to tear apart my car or my daughter's car or what have you. I think I need to take off my watch. It wants to zoom in and zoom out on me. But now let's talk about some more practical tools that I have here. I have a small handful of practical tools. So let me get into the next pieces. Next practical tool would be for your bed. Now, I have these on my bed right now. I have a bedroom of my own where I do sleep in my own bed when I need to get extra sleep or I am needing to take an uninterrupted nap. It's always just kind of nice to have your own place. But my room is so small, it might be, if I'm lucky, like 9 by 9 or 10 by 10. It's a very small room. So my bed is pushed up against the wall. Now, you know, if you know, you know, making a bed and keeping sheets on a bed that is up against a wall is really irritating. So I found these on Temu. Now what you'll do is you will place this under your mattress. You will put your fitted sheet over this and underneath your mattress like you would. Then you take this piece, once the fitted sheet or sheet is over this that you want to keep connected to your bed, and you put that sheet over this, then you will feed this through and then it will hold it. However, now, as practical as this is, so far it's holding strong. This is a huge pain in the butt because I can get it in perfectly this way, but when I want to feed it into the other portion, because remember, this piece is going to be underneath your sheet, and you're going to have a sheet in here as well. Getting this to bend and fit through is a pain. And I do believe it's because it's kind of a design flaw. What would make this work the best is if this strip was about double the length, because then once it's in here and you have it here, you have enough wiggle room to then bend this and put it in here, in this one here, without it popping out from this end. So, would I recommend it? Yes, because it works. Would I recommend it out of it being practical and not a pain in the butt? No. There are other things out there. There are other things out there that will keep a fitted sheet or a sheet more connected to your mattress that I think are easier to use. But as of right now, like I said, it is working. My fitted sheet is staying, and I don't have to argue with it every morning and get it tucked back under. And I don't have to fight with the damn wall to do it. So, pros and cons. Pros and cons. This next item came in a 2-piece, but you can get these in, is it a 2-piece or is it a 4-piece? Oh, maybe it's a 4-piece. It's actually a 4-piece. But you can get them in different quantities. You can get them in different price points. You can get them, I believe, in different colors. And they are little magnetic things. So one part, this is a sticky adhesive cover. You take this off. That will stick on your wall. This is just a blue coating to keep the shiny, not like that, not like it matters. So that goes onto your wall, and this goes into your shower curtain. and it is a pin. And the pin is sharp on one side, you poke it through, and then this is your little pin stopper that connects on the other side. So basically just like a clothing pin, same kind of concept. You poke that through, it sticks through your shower curtain, this sticks to your wall, and then you can magnetize your shower curtain to your wall. I have tried, sorry it's focusing in on Miss Koi's boutete. I have tried other options. I have tried ones that your shower curtain kind of sneaks into. So like a piece of plastic and it's like this, and then your shower curtain goes inside. Works, but you have to feed it through every time you take a shower. I just thought this would be a lot easier. And I'm going to put these in my shower right away because the other day my partner took a shower and he didn't close the shower curtain all the way tight. It happens to the best of us. Not just him, it happens to all of us. And then the water comes through from the upstairs bathroom to the downstairs bathroom through the wall. And that's no bueno. So I'm gonna put that up right away. Also, I have floor mats in the upstairs entryway that I use. And they're just the cheap plastic black ones that you would see when you walk into any general store. They're not beautiful, they're not frou-frou-y. They are just there because I have 3 dogs that come in and out of all kinds of weather and yucky poopy paws that it just works. But the corners are starting to curl, so I did pick up a pack of these. And they are super, from what I can feel already, they're super, super adhesive. And there are in total 12 pieces. So I'm just going to utilize these on the corners that are lifting, and I'm going to, tape them back down to the floor and still have some left over. But I didn't want to go buck wild and get one for every corner of each 3 of the mats until I realized whether or not these are going to be super hold enough. But these will also be installed ASAP because when it starts to lift and roll, it makes it hard to open and close doors, and that's kind of where we are at the moment. Another tool. This one is by Israel's request. This is a single piece. This is an ironing protecting cloth. He irons his clothes all the time, and he uses these to protect the more delicate material on some of his more expensive, higher quality shirts so that he doesn't burn them, but still be able to iron his clothes. Now, these are very, very inexpensive. This one in particular was under $1. I would not pay anything more than $1 for this. They do shred, they do wear out quite easily. That's why I would say don't buy something like this for really more than you need to. This is going to be put in his bedroom ASAP as well. So tools. What else do I have for tools? Are you a tool? This is also a tool. This is another very practical tool. Let me get this one out and I will show you. It would take me a little bit to unbury my nail polish box. I have everything Tetrised into my closet ever so perfectly, and it will require a little bit of work. So I just grabbed a foundation bottle, one of the foundations I have been using, which, by the way, if you are interested, is Revlon Color Stay, the long wear makeup. Currently, I'm in the shade Fresh Beige, although it doesn't match me perfectly. It is what it is. It's a nice long wearing foundation for those of you who have oily skin but also like a full coverage and are on a budget. I have this tool. This is actually for nail polish. Now, I am starting to, do my own nails. This is a cat eye nail polish that I did pick up from Temu. I do plan on doing a whole Temu nail haul next, but this will hold your nail polish bottle. But you can adjust it so if your nail polish is kind of empty and you need it to kind of sit at an angle so that you can get your brush in and dig down into the bottom of that bottle for whatever favorite polish you have, something that is no longer on the market, and you're doing your nails and the last thing you want to do is be holding your nail polish bottle. That's what this is for. This is just kind of a fun little one that's a little bit more on the pricier side. There are options out there that are less expensive. This does kind of swivel in all kinds of different ways so that you can basically hold your bottle however you need to hold it. And it is on just this little inexpensive stand with kind of little rubberized feet down at the bottom. It's not extremely anti-slip. I'm slipping it across my table back and forth. But I just thought, you know, especially for some of my favorite gel builder polishes that are kind of on their last legs, I like to get every last drop. So that's what that magical little tool is for. More magical tools. I have been buying pants that are either too big or too small, because when they come in a specific size, which is small, medium, large, and then those sizes kind of encompass a handful of different sizes. So a medium would fit size, let's say 4 to 6, and a size large would fit sizes 8, 10, but you're kind of not an 8, but you're not exactly a 10. Your pants are a little bit too big. You can get these guys. And this is a set of 4 pairs. They're all little sunflowers. I love these. They work very well. They're probably the ones that I have found that work the best, but they are a pain. They are a pain to install. So they have 2 little metal pieces like this, okay? And the little metal piece will latch on to the other one, like so. And then the way these little metal pieces hold on to your pants are by these little pins, very similar to the ones that I had just showed you with the shower curtain pins. And they look like that. So one side goes on part of your pant here. The other side goes on the other part of the pant here. And then you put them together and you clip it in, and it will adjust the side of your pant to make it fit a little bit tighter. So I picked these up. I also picked them up for some of my Halara pants, specifically the ones that I have done in a video, 2 videos back, where I did haul some denim. I picked them up in my size, but they ended up being a little bit large on me. So I wanted to utilize these for some of my Halara pants to make them fit me a little bit better. Is that it for tools? That is it for tools. Now, I'm gonna show you some cutesy wootsy stuff. I love wearing my Apple Watch. I live in my Apple Watch. I am connected to it almost permanently unless I have to charge it. I will dive in it. Well, I take that back. I also take it off to take a shower because that's typically when I charge it, to be fair. I will dive in it because you can dive in it. I sleep in it because it tracks my sleep. I do my lawn work in it because it tracks my activity. I use it when I film because I use it as my shutter button for my camera. So I did pick up another Apple Watch band. I like these. I like see, I have one already. I've got it pulled tight and it's pinching me because the looser it is, the more it wants to rotate this little lever here, which is zooming in and zooming out on you. I do love these. They're easy to get on, easy to get off, no messing with buckles, nothing. I just use my teeth and I tighten it Do as I say, not as I do. Don't use your teeth. It's not good for you. Look, I rhymed. I'm just a regular Dr. Seuss. But I picked this one up. I do believe it's all plastic. Does this have a seam on it? Doesn't have a seam. This one might be a stone. I don't think so. The tiger's eye actually does look like tiger's eye. To be real with you, that does look like a tiger's eye. So that one could be genuine stone as well. If it's not a real genuine tiger's eye, it is pretty stinking close to the real darned thing. I'm actually quite impressed. This really wasn't all that expensive either. The thing is that these cords do get a little bit gross and grimy. Will I wash my Apple Watch bands? You bet your sweet Bippy I do. I throw them suckers right in with the laundry, my regular laundry, as soon as they get gross and I go and change out a watch band. I absolutely will throw those things in the wash, absolutely. Another cutesy wootsy thing. Necklace. I found a picture of this gal that wore just a bunch of different layering pieces. And one of the pieces that she was wearing was something very, very similar to this. So I went on a hunt to see if I could find it. It is one of those bizarre little chains, like back in the day, that connects with this weird connector. But you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when we used to have rabbit feet keychains. That connector and that chain that was on the rabbit feet keychains. If you know, you know. Do you know what I'm talking about, you guys? But it's just a little piece of metal, just a very simple piece of metal. Nothing fantastic about it. I just thought this would be a great little layering piece to add with something with a silver chain, just to add a little something. I always do enjoy just a very simple pendant, and it's kind of spunky because the photo of the gal had her layered pieces were kind of almost gothic. So I thought this would work really, really well for that. What else do I have? Ooh, I do have another nail piece that I was expecting in a different haul. If you remember, I did a haul where I got 2 dresses and a pair of earrings, and I had no idea where they came from. Well, it was to replace these. That never came. So I did reorder them. So let me open it up and I'll show you what they are. I had to do this very, very carefully so I didn't make a mess all over my table. It is a 12 little pocket full of these little flakes. They are 1, 2, 3. It is 5 different colors. There might be more than 5 different colors. They are very slightly differently hued, but they're just like this, kind of iridescent. They are see-through, but then when you put them against something, they will kind of change its tone. So what I'm going to use them for is for nail designs, where I'm going to put them on polish. This one, I would probably cut up. It is kind of looking like it just didn't get put through the cutter enough, but they're these little flakes. Put them on your nails. Now I suspect that what I'll probably have to do is utilize some sort of adhesive where when you have a gel polish that requires you to wipe it with an alcohol wipe to kind of break up and wipe off that kind of sticky remaining residue, I figured I could utilize that and put the flakes on it and then polish over it. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. It is going to be something that I'm going to play with. One of the things that I saw was somebody had just taken their fingernail tip from like here down and put the chrome flakes at the fingertip there, and it looked absolutely beautiful, just kind of like a chrome flake, what do you want to call that, French tip design. I thought it was really pretty, so I wanted to try that. This is why I can't have nice things, y'all. This is why I cannot have nice things. Oh, she just used my arm as a, oh, that hurt. Ah, that hurt. Okay. Oh, let me regroup. Okay, we're back. Kid pretty things. I did pick up a little hair piece. A lot of my clips that I have for my wigs are going to be more of the claw clipped version, or ones that are hinged and open and close, and then that's it. I wanted to find something for my wigs that have this type of closure so that you pop it open and then actually clip it closed. I feel it would be a far more snug or secure fit. I don't think it would look all that good with what I'm wearing right now, because I've got it in like a high pony, but for something that you would wear, you know, back behind in a half pull, I thought that would work really, really well, so that I didn't have to use a rubber band at all, that I could just put my hair in here and clip it in. It was relatively inexpensive. There's a ton of different styles to choose from. This is metal, and there were some that I really liked that I wanted to get instead, but they were more expensive. So they're gonna run typically about $5 to $6. A lot of times you can get things relatively inexpensively over at the Dollar Tree, but I was on Temu and I was shopping Temu, so I just found whatever one was a little bit more affordable in a design that I liked. So I picked that one up. I also picked out on the Daily Free some little earrings that are sterling silver. Supposedly. Can we verify that? I don't know. It does have the 925 on the inside. So on the part where my tweezer is, there is that 925 marking on it. They're not moissanite. They are a cubic zirconium, and they're huggy style earring, which is what I like. I like a huggy style earring because then that way I can basically just leave those suckers in and sleep in them and not have an issue. And if they're sterling silver, they can remain in my ears forever and ever until I take them out. Although, to be fair, word to the wise, you do still have to clean your earring posts. And I will use that. I will clean my earring posts and my earring holes with little scrubby tools just to make sure that they don't become infected or things grow where they're not supposed to grow and grow over. I've seen some horror pictures of people who never take their earrings out. But they're more comfortable, so you can do that. This is the last cutesy wootsy thing, and then I got a couple more things for you. I'm really kind of bummed about this. I was in the market for getting a coin purse, and I saw this one. Now, is it my fault I didn't look at dimensions? It is absolutely my fault that I didn't look at dimensions. I was thinking that they were going to be like this, not half of the size. Because what am I gonna put in here? 4/4? I mean, really, that's about all that will fit in there. 4/4. It's cute. It's cute. You can just simply attach it to the outside of your purse on the little hook that your strap is connected to. Not what I was hoping, so I will continue to be on the hunt for a little coin purse. So there's that one. Disappointment, cute, but a disappointment nonetheless. Lastly, two things that are going to be for home decor. I have a window in my bathroom. Raise your hand if you have a window in your bathroom and you know how much that sucks. I bought some window cling. Let me open this up and I can maybe show you the design a little bit better here. Here we have the window cling. Now, are you self-adhesive? I'm kind of concerned here. I don't know if that's gonna stick to the window like my other one will. It might. I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out. But this is the design. So it's frosted glass. What I have in there currently is something that I feel is like a little bit thinner of a material. And what you do with that is you will spray your window. I would highly recommend using something like a Windex, something that will kind of evaporate on its own, because you have to apply it when the surface is somewhat wet, but then it has to kind of dry on there in order for it to stick and stay. But what I have on there is kind of thin compared to this is a little bit thicker. I don't know if this is going to work that way. And I don't know that it is an adhesive, like you take a piece off and then it kind of has it. Oh, look at that. Dang. Okay, it is stickier on the other side. Woo, okay. Okay. I mean, it's not sticky, but it's, okay, so there is a film. There is a film on there. You do take the film off and then it feels more rubbery. That feels like it would be sticky. What do I have? What do I have that can mimic glass? How about this mirror here? Let's just see. Nope, it would require it to be wet. Okay, well, this could end in epic failure. It could be a waste of money. I don't know, but there is a film on there. Underneath, it does feel a little bit stickier and a little bit rubbery. With the film on there, I was like, oh, I don't feel like that's gonna stick. But there's quite a bit in here. This roll is the largest that they had, so that I had extras in case things get gross and grimy. But that really isn't frosted enough, is it? That also doesn't seem very frosted. If I was naked, you'd be able to see my tatas. So is that really worth it? I don't know, guys. Okay, pretend I'm in the shower. I think you're gonna see everything. I can find a different use for this. I could probably put this in my entryway door. Except for my dogs like to look out that window to see who's comings and goings. I'll figure out a use for it. I'll find something. I'm good at that. I'll find something. This is the last piece of home decor. This I figured I would use for my ugly little table here that I film on. This table I picked up for like 15 or 20 bucks over at the thrift store. It's more of a computer desk. That's why it has like a drawer and something that I can put a keyboard on. But it is this crappy light colored wood grain thing. this thing. I don't like this thing. I think aesthetically for this space down here, I think it's really kind of yucky. And so I thought I would try this. Now, Jen from Just Jen, again, hey girl, I am shouting you out and advertising for your channel because you are the bestest bestie ever. She did buy some of this, and she did put it on, I believe, a kitchen table of hers. So I thought I would put it on this table here, just for some more aesthetics to kind of go with a little bit more of what's going on down here. A little bit. But what I recommended to Jen, and here I would recommend this to you as well, put down an Elmer's glue stick. Elmer's glue sticks they're washable. You can use them. I feel like we're still a little crooked here. You can use them for a lot of things. Did I just make you more crooked? We're almost done anyways. I feel like you can use it on a lot of things, and it's non-damaging, non-toxic, non-damaging. Put some glue stick down, some Elmer glue stick. It's tacky enough right off the gate instead of like a bottle of Elmer's glue. You could also, on something like this, you could probably use wood glue, something like that as well. But I like the idea of the Elmer stick because it's tacky right off the start, and it will give it a little extra grip, and so it will last and stay a little bit longer. I do have stuff like this as wallpaper, and that's what I ended up doing in order to keep the very first ream, or the very, very top, or at the very, very bottom, in order to keep it to stick from peeling and then rolling down. I would use that on the corners to keep it from unraveling and unpeeling. Worked like a charm, like a charm. It was just something, I had a thought in my brain and I tried it and it worked. So now I'm sharing that with you. And that is it, you guys. That is it. That is my Temu haul of randomness. But let me show you one thing that my mom did pick up for me, which is absolutely adorable, and I have to share them with you. All right, you guys. Cutie. Let's not look at the fact that I didn't shave my legs. I'm wearing pants, right? Look at my socks, you guys. They're kind of the best of both worlds. My mom knows that I like to wear fun socks, and she found these for me. The little goofy sun and all of the flowers, but they're mesh and they're see-through, except for where it matters, right? Up top here, in the heel here, and in the toes. They feel really kind of funny. But if you don't like wearing socks because your feet get too hot like mine, these are perfect. Aren't those kind of fun? I don't know where she got them from. She probably found them in one of the little thrifty stores that she likes to go to. Socks, thank you for being totally awesome. But that's the brand anyway. In case you're interested in trying to find some of these. They feel kind of weird on your feet, but satisfying at the same time. If you hate socks like I hate socks, like if you have to wear them and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna wear socks, at least they should be fun, right? But these are kind of cooling as well because they're breezy, they're airy. You can wear them and not get horribly sweaty, icky feet. But that is it. That is my Temu haul. That is practical, impractical, things like this. I don't think this one is going to work for what I wanted it to work for either. Some things that work, but what I recommend, not necessarily. Of course, we've got some some adorable things here, some fun, funky stuff. And I just thought today that I would show you kind of the more practical side of things that I've been picking up on Temu. Next time we will do a nail haul. A lot of the things I have tested out on my fingernails currently. I will be able to give you my final thoughts on that kind of stuff coming up soon. Just checking to make sure here that the cat didn't throw anything off on the floor when she took her dive over here. She wanted to go in this box that I have over there to collect all of the little Temu stuff that I show here, and then I just know that it's in that box. But she wants to sit in that box, and she knocked the damn thing over, which meant that she knocked the light over, and then she skidded across on the floor, and then she wanted to come back up, and when she tried to get back up on the table, she had nothing to clip her claws into to allow herself to get up. So then she used my arm. But I don't see anything else. I think I've gotten everything. So there's that. But as always, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me on another video today. If you're new here, I would love it if you considered subscribing and being part of our goofy little family. Also, please like, share, comment down below. What was your favorite? What do you think you're gonna go run out and get because you just have to have it? What was the one that made you go, I don't think so? Or, yeah, I agree with you, Faith. That does kind of suck a little bit. Is this something that you're going to want to put in your bathroom window and be brave and take a shower in, and hopefully your neighbors aren't spying on you with their binoculars and going, I can make out some tatas through that? You're not fooling anybody? Okay, anyway, I'm gonna go, guys, and so I will see you later. Bye, guys.